Yo, what's up everybody? Jumping here. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to get the best stat boosting accessory in Final Fantasy 15. It's called the Magitek Suit version 2. Now there is a Magitek Suit version 1 and they are actually both really good. The version 1 is going to give you 1000 health, 70 strength, and 50 vitality. The version 2 is going to give you 2000 health, 100 strength, and 70 vitality. So the version 2 is far superior, and it is definitely, hands down, the best stat boosting accessory in this game. There's no doubt about it. Now the Magitek Suit is a 100% guaranteed drop that you can get from fighting a certain enemy. And I have so many of this because my farming method works really well, and you can defeat this enemy fairly easily if you follow this guide. Now the Magitek version 2, I only have 4 of these, and that is because this only has a 5% chance of dropping. You can double that to 10% if you use a certain meal. So you're going to have to rely on RNGs to actually get this thing. And let me tell you, it can be very difficult. Now to get these items, you're going to have to fight a level 99 mech. Now when I was playing the game and before I actually beat it, I never seen this level 99 mech ever. I've seen the level 76 mech plenty of times before I beat the game, but I only ever seen the level 99 mech after I beat the game. So I'm not exactly sure if you have to beat the game to get this mech to spawn, but he's going to spawn from the Imperial drop ships, just like any of the Imperial mechs that you will see throughout the game. Normally you will fight them from the drop ships. I'm going to be showing you guys the best spot to actually get this mech to spawn, and then once you actually have him spawn, you can make him respawn multiple times before finally he will stop respawning. So normally I would say that you can fight him maybe about 5 to 7 times before you will actually have to sit around and wait for him to respawn, which is a random chance, so there is some RNG in that as well. Now the spot on the map that you're going to want to go to get this guy to spawn is going to be east of Hammerhead. There's a camp here. This is actually one of Prompto's friendship camps where you have to go and take a stalker picture of Cindy. It's actually really cool. You should totally rest here just to see that cutscene and do that quest. But that is definitely the best spot. It's a little bit hidden on the map though, I will say. I did not know about this camp for the longest time. But for some reason, this mech spawns here, it seems, the most. I've had him spawn all over the place, but this is definitely the spot where he spawns a lot. Now, like I said, once you get him to spawn, then you can farm him multiple times. So let me go ahead and show you my setup because I can defeat him fairly easily, and if you follow like my setup, I would say that you should have no trouble beating him. He is considered to be the hardest boss in the game though, and he can be very annoying. Now the first set of weapons I'm going to be using is the Swords of the Wanderer. I really like these, but you can use any royal arm that you want. The whole point of this is just to drain your health. That is really all it's there for. The next weapon I'm using is the Axe of the Conqueror. Now as I'm farming enemies waiting for him to drop, I normally use the Zwill crossblades because they are extremely good and they can kill normal enemies extremely fast. And once the mech spawns, I will switch this to the Axe of the Conqueror so I can get some bonus strength. I'm using the Sword of the Father, which is just there to boost my strength by 100 and my magic by 100. And finally, the main weapon for this fight that will make it extremely easy is the Apocalypse Greatsword. I will show you on the map where you can get this, but this is an in-game item, so you have to beat the game. And you're going to have to start doing the sealed dungeon quest line because you have to get this behind a sealed dungeon door. Alright, so let me go ahead and show you where you can find this weapon. It's going to come from the mines, which is going to be located somewhat close to Long White Rest area. And once you actually beat this place, then you can come back later and do the sealed dungeon. Now to get the Apocalypse Greatsword, it's fairly easy because all you have to do is make it to the first camp. And then if you can beat this place, you're going to get the death penalty handgun. And that's actually a really good handgun that you can use on Prompto if you want to. So this place is definitely worth doing, but the Apocalypse Greatsword is the main weapon here. And it's actually somewhat underrated. I don't really ever see people talking about it much. It is considered to be the best greatsword in the game just because of its base damage. But the Dominator is definitely considered to be the best by most people because of its holy damage and the bonus damage that you get versus demons. Now the Apocalypse Greatsword's effect is that when your health is at 1/3, then you're going to get bonus damage. And this can actually get pretty ridiculous fairly quickly. So that's going to be our strategy for this fight, is to lower our health down with the Swords of the Wanderer. We're going to be buffing ourselves with an item, and we're also going to be using enhancement, because Angelus is going to be really the only ally here that you're going to want to use. If everyone else dies, it's not a problem. Now, one thing I would recommend for this, which I wasn't doing for the longest time, and then I decided to do it, take off all of the accessories of your allies. Do not boost their stats, because you actually do want them to die. And the thing is that it's going to be really annoying if they don't die, because they're going to just keep reviving you over and over again. Because one of the big things about this fight, you're going to have to play on easy mode. Now, I beat this mech multiple times on normal mode, and it did take like about 10 minutes each time, maybe 15 minutes sometimes, but it was much harder. The main thing about easy mode is that when you die on easy mode, they have like kind of a god mode that you can get. It's really kind of stupid. It makes it so easy, but you cannot die. You have to die twice to actually have a game over. Because when you first die, you're going to get a buff called Ruby Light. And it's going to revive you and give you massive attack bonus and massive defense bonus. So that's a part of this strategy. We're going to die right away when we start the fight. And then we're going to go ahead and start fighting him. But really, Noctis is going to be the only one who will actually be able to really damage this mech. So he's the most important person, obviously. And the only other one that you want to keep alive is Angelus, just so that you can use the technique enhancement. That's pretty much it. If you guys want to know what dish is going to give you 100% drop rate, it's called the Papa Bird and Baby Bowl. You get this from Lestalem. It's in the same place that you're going to get the Mother and Child Bowl. But when you go to Lestalem and you park in the parking lot, you're going to find a place called the Lookout. If you run around that area where your car is, you will find a woman eating a dish, and then you will learn the Mother and Child Bowl. If you come back later, I don't know how long you have to wait, but if you do come back later, you're going to find that same woman eating another dish, and it's going to be the Papa Bird and Baby Bowl. And this is the superior version of it. You definitely want this because it's going to up your chance from 5% to 10%, and hopefully you can get the Magitek Suit version 2. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you where you want to go in this area to pretty much find the enemy that you're looking for. And there's also another technique that you can do to maybe make this easier to have them spawn, because I have noticed that it seems like it's easier to make them spawn. But over here, there's going to be some scorpions by this bush. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just kind of like stand in this area and then blow your whistle, your enemy whistle, multiple times to summon enemies, and you can farm a bunch of AP doing this. I mean, I've gotten thousands of AP just waiting for this mech to spawn, running around killing easy enemies, killing Magitek troopers, and that's pretty much it, guys. So that's what you need to do to get this thing to spawn. But another technique is to actually just save your game and then load your save. Every time you do that, one of the engines will spawn automatically. I don't know why, it just does. And it seems like it's faster to have them spawn that way than to actually go ahead and just kill enemies over and over again. But yeah, you can do it either way you want. I would recommend farming AP though, because it's a nice way to farm it. But once you find them, then you can go in and fight them. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this ahead, guys, until the fight, because I'm going to have to wait for them to spawn. And once I have them spawn, I will commentate the fight and tell you exactly what you need to do to beat them and how to go ahead and exploit them to make them respawn again. Alrighty guys, so I just got him to spawn, and the very first thing I'm going to do is try to die on purpose. Now this can actually be the most frustrating part of the entire fight, because when you're trying to die on purpose, your teammates are going to keep picking you up, and that can actually be really annoying. But once you actually do die, you're good to go. If your teammates die right here or go into danger mode, that's something you want, because you don't want them picking you up. So that is actually a good thing. So now I'm just going to go ahead and use a royal arm. It doesn't matter which one you use. I really like the Swords of the Wanderer though. It's so good. It actually hits for quite a bit of damage in itself. But if you're looking at my damage number now, you can see that you really do no damage to this guy. He has such high defense. So what I'm going to be showing is how you can actually hit him for so much damage. It's actually really crazy, because normally this takes so long because he just has so much defense, and no matter what you throw at him, he just doesn't really take much damage at all. So right there, I just got revived, and like I said, that can be actually very annoying, very frustrating. So I'm just going to go ahead and spam. Everyone is in danger. This is what you want to see, okay? Because once everyone is in danger, you know for a fact you're gonna be killed here, as long as you just let the guy kill you. So I wish he would shoot rockets at me. Okay, he hit me with one. That's good. And he's wigging out. That does happen, and I just got killed. That's perfect. Now, the thing about that is that when you actually are on easy mode, you get this buff called Ruby Light. I did not even know about this, to be quite honest. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, it's really, really awesome. So I need to go ahead and find Angelus. Actually, Prompto's just going to go ahead and save him for me. But he's actually the only important team member in this entire fight, to be quite honest. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and drain my health down on purpose once again. But I'm not going to try to die. I'm going to try to get it down really low so that I can go into like a hyper mode. That's the way to think of it. Now I'm going to use enhancement from Angelus. This is actually a really good ability for two reasons. It's going to buff your damage, and also it's going to go ahead and save you from when this guy will try to counter you. You can go ahead and use your technique, and then boom, you will actually counter his counter. Now this is a problem right here, is that Angelus can actually regenerate your health if you have the perk. So that can be actually kind of annoying. Another thing that I would definitely recommend using is muscle simulants, because these will buff your attack, and you get a bunch of these from the Magitek troopers, and you should be farming them like crazy anyway, so you should have like 99 of them in no time. So now that we are in hyper mode, we have barely any health, we have our attack buff from the item, we have enhancement, I'm going to start to warp strike his face. Now normally a good rule of thumb here is to go ahead and do 2 warp strikes to the face and then land. If you feel like he's going to counter you and you will not get away from it, use enhancement or some technique to go ahead and counter his counter so you do not get hit. Anytime your health gets back up to about maybe 2,000-ish, just from it randomly regenerating, go ahead and drain it again using a royal arm. But let's go ahead and get into this. And also, do not summon for this fight. It doesn't actually do anything. So right now, I'm doing pretty insane damage to him. And I'm just going to spam. See right there, he's going to counter me. There was no way I was going to dodge that or get back to the ground in time to dodge it. So I'm going to go ahead and use enhancement to save my health, because I do not want to go into danger mode, because then I have to start the whole process over. When he does this right here, which is like a little move you can parry, you want to spam the shit out of Warp Strike, because you can get in about 5 or 6 of these before you actually have to stop. So right here, I'm hitting him for 9,999, which is really, really insane. If you've ever done this fight before, that is some crazy numbers that you can get using this greatsword. This greatsword is so good. Now, if your MP does drain, you can go ahead and point warp, but that's going to start to regen your health. So normally, I just use an item to restore it, and I'm also going to go ahead and now use another item to buff my attack. And I think I'm going to go ahead and try to drain my health back down. So about maybe 1,500-ish, you can go ahead and do it. But yeah, you need to be careful about that, because you don't want to put yourself in danger with your royal arm. So right now I'm just hitting his dick. That's actually what that is, to be quite honest. But you really want to hit his face if possible, okay? So I'm hitting his face. He's trying to shoot me, and normally he can't actually hit you when he tries to shoot you. So now I'm going to go ahead and use another enhancement. And as you can see, the damage is really off the chart here. And you could just do so much damage with this sword if you just follow this strategy. I'm going to try to hit him. It actually can be difficult to hit him right there from that angle. I'm going to go ahead and use another enhancement. I don't think I needed to do that right there, but it's whatever. I just wanted to do it, because you need to just do it every once in a while, because you never know when he's going to actually try to counter you. And you really don't want him to counter you at all, like if possible. Alright, so right there. Now, I thought there was a problem. I guess he went ahead and regenerated my health, and that can be annoying during a fight, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, I should be okay, and I should be in kind of hyper mode, but we will see here in a moment. But he's almost dead, so I mean, I almost got him. I just got to go ahead and just spam again to his face, and I should be fine. Okay, and he's dead, and I just got the shield. Now, here's the secret. If you want to respawn him once you kill him, you need to save your game immediately after you kill him, okay? During his animation of blowing up and dying, and you will have the Magitek Suit, or if you get lucky, you will have the Magitek Suit version 2. You need to make a save somewhere, and then load your save. And what's going to happen is, most of the time, he will spawn immediately right away, okay? You don't really want to blow your whistle, though. That's something I've noticed. You just kind of want to wait for him. And if he doesn't spawn, what we're going to do is we're just going to reload that save again, and he should eventually respawn. Yep, it's him. See what I'm saying? Like, if you do that load trick, he will spawn most of the time right away. And if he doesn't spawn, go ahead and reload again and see if he will. And if he still doesn't respawn, load it again. Just keep going until he does. I promise you, he will definitely respawn. Alright guys, well that's going to pretty much do it. I really would appreciate it though if you could like this video for me. Be sure to subscribe for future videos. And I really do hope that everyone has a very nice day. And peace out.